Wonderful, but that's a wonderful costume for the Tin Man, Violet answered. Maybe he feels it will bring him luck. I'll get her to think about the clues around it. Does it sound like she's excited about the costume or sound like she doesn't like it?
Sounds like she loved it.
Yeah, she's excited. So getting her to think about what else is happening in the sentence and in the story at that time, if she figured out what the word wonderful was, then I'm teaching her how to teach herself when she's reading alone and how you can figure out words you don't know when you're reading by yourself. And finally, just making her aware of how she can break up words, break up word patterns, use context clues, use story topics to figure out what a word might be if she has no idea what it is. Things that have to do with theater, for example, like the word costume. She might have known what the word costume was or sounded it out differently if it was in a different book, but in this book, she's most likely aware that she's going to see the word costume and be more likely to sound it out right. So that's what we have for reading, and next we'll talk about math. The main thing to remember when you're tutoring a student in math is that math has got to be fun. Activities and games are an excellent way of teaching math operations as well as math strategies. A math lesson should always start with review of what you learned last time, of a new teaching, a new method, a new operation, whatever, and then a game and activity to teach that better, to reinforce it, and then to review again what you had learned that day. As far as, there's some things I wanted to show you, just to give you an idea of what you can use to teach math. First of all, we have math manipulatives, which are blocks. And what's nice about math manipulatives is that a child can see what's happening as well as feel what's happening. 3 plus 3, putting together you get 6. You can also use things as simple as markers to teach place value. 10 little markers equal 1 big marker. We also have all kinds of games where you can use dice, adding, subtracting, multiplying dice to get further on the game board and play against somebody. You can also just use regular playing cards to teach adding tens or something like that with math tricks. We have a lot of math books like Math Amusements, we have math magic trick books. We also have stuff like outside math, ideas of what to do outside on the sidewalk to teach math. You can also go on scavenger hunts and learn math that way. Another way to teach math is to send... Excuse me, could you stop that? Could you stop the tape? Do you guys realize that when you're talking, it gets on the tape? And you can send things like math study cards home so they can memorize multiplication tables, adding facts at home as well as at tutoring. We have all kinds of flashcards, addition, multiplication, and even time cards. A lot of kids have trouble learning time, and you can even teach them how to be a clock themselves and help them to feel what it would be like to be a clock. If a child has a problem doing a lot of math problems, maybe try to get them excited by saying, well, you can use a calculator or a computer to check what you've done. There's also a lot of computer games or internet games that you can learn math on. Another thing to remember when you're teaching math is that one operation builds on top of another operation. For example, I have something here called a multiplication house because 2 times 3 equals 6, so if a child knows multiplication, they can also learn division, which is 6 divided by 2 equals 3. You also want to make math relevant to the child's life. One thing that's really relevant is money. Kids love playing with money, they love thinking about money, they love talking about money. So using money to teach math is an excellent way to do it. Really, math can be fun, and kids just need to know that it can be fun. They need to see that it can be easy. So, tutoring math, make sure there's a lot of review, a lot of games and activities, and you'll do great.
Finished?
Yes, you can put that down. Is it ready? In general, there are 6 keys you need to remember in any tutoring setting. The first one is structure. You need to make sure that there is an organization, a flow to what's going to happen during that session, and the child just needs to be aware of what's going to happen in that session. The other one is choice. You want to make sure that you have a variety of activities and options for a child to choose from, as far as what they're going to do or not do. The next one is to record, to make sure that you're recording the child's achievements so that you can say, hey, look what you've done, look how far you've come this year. Also is to have fun and to reward. Use a treasure chest, use tickets, use whatever to reward a child once they've had fun and accomplished something at the same time. The other thing to remember is that conversation matters. A lot of these kids don't have the social skills they need. And conversation helps them learn small talk, helps them learn how to respect other people, how to talk to people that aren't like them or are like them. And finally, remember that you are their biggest fan. That you just need to encourage them no matter what. No matter if they backslide, no matter if they don't come for a while. Just be their biggest fan and you're going to make a difference. Even if it's not academically, you're going to make a difference in terms of how they feel about themselves and how they see life. With these main keys to remember for tutoring, you'll do an excellent job. Just remember to always ask the child how they're feeling. How do you feel about math? How do you feel about reading? Is there something we could do that would make you like it better? Remember to be honest with them and sincere with them, but at the same time to really be encouraging. Remember, you're their biggest fan when it comes to academics. Don't ever think that if you want to be a tutor that you can't if you don't know enough. Being a tutor is not about knowledge, it's about technique. It's about experience and learning how to work with the child and to best meet their needs. A tutor isn't somebody who gives a student the answers. A tutor teaches a student the strategies to find the answers. A tutor isn't an expert. A tutor is a model of interest and dedication to learning. Our tutoring program started in January of 2006. We were able to pair 10 students one-on-one with a college or community volunteer who would come in twice a week to meet with them and spend an hour just focused on them and on their academic needs. The volunteers did an excellent job. Most of them was their first time ever tutoring. Some of the students made academic progress. Some of them made a lot of social progress. And that's the other thing to remember is that the fact that you're coming and spending an hour of your time and showing this child that they're worthwhile, that they're special, is what's going to make more of a difference to them in the long run. It's going to give them the confidence to learn that they need more than the knowledge that they need. So you showing that you care makes the biggest difference in the lives of the students. Tutoring skills are acquired through experience and through learning the needs of a specific child in just one-on-one time. But we do have a few handouts that we've given you, and we want to spend some time on this video giving you a few tips for reading and math in general to help you get going in your tutoring.